All right, so you've definitely been hearing this term AI agents popping up everywhere, right? But what does it actually mean? Is it just a fancy new word for a chatbot? Well, spoiler alert, it's not. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on this amazing new tech and show you why it's way more than just another buzzword. Let's dive in.
So, have you ever tried this? You ask your AI assistant, your chat GPT or whatever, to do something genuinely helpful. Like, hey, can you check our inventory levels, or can you actually book that flight for me? And what do you get back? Sorry, I can't do that. It's frustrating, right? And you're definitely not alone. This gets right to the heart of a huge limitation with the AI most of us are used to.
And here's why that happens. It's actually a pretty simple concept. Think of a standard AI model, even a super powerful one, as a brain in a jar. It's incredibly smart, right? It can process tons of information and give you these brilliant answers. But it's disconnected. It can't interact with the real world. It has no hands to click buttons or fill out forms or get into your company's private data. It can't act. And that's the whole ballgame. Giving that brain hands, giving AI the power to do things, that's exactly what AI agents are designed for.
Okay, so first up, let's really nail down what makes an agent so different from a regular chatbot. Because believe me, this distinction, it changes everything. So here's the official breakdown, kind of combining what folks at Salesforce and IBM are saying. An AI agent is an autonomous, that's a key word, proactive application. It uses a large language model, the brain like in ChatGPT, to reason, to make decisions, and, here's the most important part, to take actions and get things done. The big words to remember are autonomous and actions. A chatbot just sits there waiting for you to type something. An agent, you give it a goal, and it goes to work all on its own to make it happen.
And look, this is not just some small incremental update. We're talking about a major leap. Andrej Karpathy, he's a co-founder of OpenAI, one of the sharpest minds in the entire AI field. He literally called this the next frontier. Now, when a guy like that tells you to pay attention to something, you listen. He's basically saying we're moving from just talking to our AI to giving our AI a to-do list.
So what's the magic sauce here? How do they actually work? Well, it really comes down to three key abilities, or pillars. First, they reason. They take a big, complex goal and use that LLM brain to break it down into a logical step-by-step plan. Second, they act. This is huge. They can connect to and use other tools. Think of it like giving the AI hands so it can use a web browser or log into your CRM or talk to other apps through their APIs, which are just like digital doorways. And third, they have memory. They remember what they've done, what worked, what didn't, so they can get smarter with each step.
All right, let's pop the hood and go one level deeper. How does an agent really think and act in a way that's just so fundamentally different from a standard AI?
Well, you can see it right here. The workflow is completely different. A standard AI is a one-way street. You give it a prompt, it fires up the LLM, and it spits out an answer. End of story. But an AI agent? That's a whole different beast. It works in a continuous loop. You give it a goal, and then it kicks off this cycle. It creates a plan, it uses a tool, it observes what happened, and then it repeats. It thinks, acts, observes, over and over, learning and adjusting its plan until the entire job is done.
Yeah, this loop, this is the secret weapon. It's often called a react loop, which stands for reason and act. It perfectly describes what's happening. The agent isn't just giving you one-shot answers. No, it's on a mission. It's constantly checking its work, seeing the results of its actions in the real world, and using that feedback to decide what to do next. It's a dynamic, problem-solving process.
Okay, so the theory is cool, right? But let's get to the good stuff. What can these agents actually do? For businesses, for you, right now. This is where things get really, really interesting.
Let's start with customer support. Imagine having 24/7 support that doesn't just parrot answers from a knowledge base. We're talking about an agent that can actually resolve customer cases because it's plugged directly into your tools, like Zendesk or Slack. And here's the best part. If it gets stuck on something really complex, it doesn't just give up. It intelligently bundles up the entire conversation with all the context and hands it off to a human expert. Seamless.
And if you think that sounds like science fiction, check this out. Bot Press shared a case study about a company called Ruby Labs. They put AI agents into their support system. The result? A 98% resolution rate. Let that sink in for a second. That means 98 out of every 100 customer problems were completely solved from start to finish without a human ever touching it. That's just a wild level of efficiency.
Now think about sales and marketing. An agent can basically be your new, tireless team member. It can spend all day, every day researching and qualifying new leads. It can write personalized outreach emails for every single one of them. It can handle all that mind-numbing data entry into your CRM. Some of these tools can even watch what's trending online and suggest ideas for your next viral marketing campaign. It's like having a whole team in a box.
And for you and me in our day-to-day jobs, this is about getting a true personal assistant. Just imagine an agent that takes care of your expense reports, or one that can actually look at everyone's calendars and find a time for that impossible-to-schedule meeting. Or maybe an agent that does hours and hours of deep research on a topic for you and then just drops a perfect summary in your inbox. This is all about automating the grunt work, the stuff we all hate doing, so we can actually focus on the work that matters.
Okay, I know what you might be thinking. This all sounds incredible, but I'm not a programmer. This has to be super complicated to build, right? Well, you might be surprised. A whole ecosystem of tools has already popped up to make this way more accessible than you'd think.
And that's the great news here. You really don't have to be a PhD in computer science to build an agent anymore. Sure, for the serious developers, you've got powerful frameworks like LangChain or AutoGen. But for regular business users, for most of us, there are now no-code or low-code platforms like Lindy, N8N, or VoiceFlow. You can literally build powerful automations with a drag-and-drop interface. The barrier to entry here is just plummeting.
So, we've covered what agents are, the basics of how they work, and what they can already do today. But what's next? Where does this technology go from here? Let's take a quick look at the future, which is probably closer than we think.
See, the next big leap isn't just about having one single, super smart agent that does everything. The real future is in creating teams of agents. Specialized agents that work together, collaborating to tackle much bigger, more complex problems. Welcome to the world of multi-agent systems.
And here's a super simple way to picture how that works. Let's say you ask your system, draft an email about our 10 a.m. meeting. Instead of one agent doing it all, a classifier agent, think of it as the team manager, gets the request. It immediately sees what needs to be done and delegates. It tells a specialized email agent, hey, you're good at writing, draft this. At the same time, it tells a calendar agent, hey, you're connected to the calendar, go double-check the meeting details. Each agent does its one little job perfectly, reports back, and boom, you get a complete, fact-checked email. It's like a digital assembly line for knowledge work.
And that really brings us to the final mind-bending question. We're clearly moving from AI being just a tool to AI being a workforce. So, if one single agent can be such a helpful assistant, what happens when every single person, every team, and every company has an entire digital team working for them 24/7? The sheer scale of that potential transformation, that's what makes AI agents one of the most important and honestly one of the most exciting technologies to watch right now. Thanks for joining me for this explainer.